Sometimes the best ideas hit you during the quietest moments. For me, it happened on my chair, controller in hand, playing Uncharted 2. You know the one, the train mission. It wasn't just fun, it was absolute cinema. And in that moment, something clicked. I thought, what if I could build a game around moving trains, but mix it with climbing and gravity puzzles? For context, I'm a software developer. I've worked in e-commerce for the past 4 years, but I've always had a soft spot for game dev, thanks to my love for games and a class I took back in uni. After that Uncharted session, I decided to give it another shot. Just me, my free time, and a dream to build something players might actually enjoy. So I pulled out a notebook and started listing ideas. Trains that move forever, climbing like in Zelda, and a mechanic that lets you flip gravity. That was the seed, and the first thing I needed was to get the train moving. I played with my cat for some time while the coffee was being prepared. When the coffee was ready, I grabbed it and sat down for work. I started by diving into C++. I thought it would be cleaner and more efficient. And honestly, blueprints in Unreal always looked a bit too visual for my liking. But I quickly realized I needed splines, and I had no idea what they were. After a lot of Googling and some trial and error, I managed to get a train moving randomly across splines. And yes, by train, I mean these 3 naked boxes. It was a bit rough for me, but it worked in the end. Until I hit my first wall, importing assets from the Fab Store. C++ didn't play well with blueprints, and it was clear that this approach would slow me down. So I started over, this time using blueprints. I rebuilt the spline, created a train with 3 cars, and finally got it all moving the way I imagined. Turns out, blueprints weren't that scary. In fact, they worked really well. Next, I wanted climbing. I found a Zelda-style climbing asset and tried applying it to my character. I had to dig into the blueprint logic behind it and tweak it for my setup. But somehow I made it work. It looked great and fun. It was even better than how I imagined it would be. Now, the next mechanic I had in mind was wild, yet not that hard to achieve. Gravity flipping. Adding a gravity changer wasn't that hard. But rotating the camera when gravity flipped, yeah, that took some of my time. For this project, I left the camera static when flipping gravity. But even at that stage, the mechanic felt exciting. There was real potential here. I eventually put all the mechanics together in a single level. Train movement, gravity flipping, and climbing. But after testing everything together, I made a tough call. I decided to drop climbing, at least for now, and focus on the most unique mechanic, the gravity control. I decided to drop climbing because I got this idea. What if this game became a multiplayer puzzle platformer, something like Portal, but with a twist? 2 players, each can reverse the other's gravity, so cooperation becomes chaotic. And maybe, just maybe, I'll bring that moving train into one of the levels as well. Right now, I started working on the final idea that will hopefully become the full game. I've fixed the camera rotation and controls when gravity is inverted. Next up, animations, character models, and probably networking for multiplayer. I will try to share progress through these devlogs every couple of weeks, maybe monthly. If you are into weird indie mechanics, game dev chaos, or just want to follow along, consider sticking around. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this little dev journey, drop a like.